Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Arrow Season 5, Episode 12. It's called Bratva.
No, if I didn't know any better, I'd think you were as drunk as me.
Um, maybe just I'm not drunk on alcohol, but I might be drunk just in life. I don't know. But yeah, full spoilers as always, and you know what? I'm going to put in a little disclaimer here at the start. I'm going to start doing this in the Arrow reviews. I want to make this clear, just in case this is the first video that you've ever stumbled onto on this channel. This is not normal for us. Arrow is this different thing. It's different to every other review we do, because everything else we do we like, or well, maybe not all the first episodes, because obviously we try things and they make
But we
bad.
treat them properly.
We treat them properly. Arrow is something we watch out of completion, and we kind of are at the point where we pretty much hate it most of the time. Connor gets drunk for it. He is drunk this evening, and we just kind of make fun of it and complain a lot.
And it's the only thing I'll get drunk for. Normally, I'm relatively sober. I mean, I may have had a drink or two, but I'm not drunk.
Others can decide that for themselves. But I thought I'll put a disclaimer out there, just because it is such a different thing compared to everything else. With that said, I knew I was in for one that I wasn't going to care for when I read the episode title, Bratva.
Says it all, doesn't it?
Something that connects to the flashbacks. I was actually worried it was going to be all flashback. Luckily, that was not the case, but it wasn't much better.
It
Really.
wasn't. There was enough flashbacks. It started with flashback, and that was enough to put me in a bad mood.
Yeah, it did. I'll give you one positive. I actually didn't mind the subplot with Lance and Whale Dog, as much as like Lance just shows up at the start of the episode and he's like, yeah, I'm out of rehab and I'm ready to go, I'm perfectly healthy. As much like I kind of want to complain about that, and because it just feels too easy. Like, oh, he's missing for like 4 or 5 episodes and he's
I
fine.
mean,
But at the same time,
it's been months.
yeah, but it's still too easy. We've not seen anything of it. He just shows up again and he's fine.
Well, that's kind of the point, though, isn't it? He's in rehab. You don't see him. He's got to deal with it on his own out there.
Well, yeah, but that's not a TV show. Typically, you'd follow the character and you'd see them get
Yeah, but we
better
already
and you
did that.
grow.
We already did that with Lance.
Did we?
Yeah, in like season 2 or 3, we already had his drinking problem, and he had to get better.
Yeah, we didn't have him in rehab though. But the point I'm making though, this is why I'm saying it's a double-edged thing, is because on the one hand, I really don't want to have to sit through him getting better. On the other hand, it does just feel far too easy. It just feels like magic TV writing. He just pops up and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm completely sober," and
Eh,
it's done. It feels too easy. But like I say, I don't actually want to have to sit through it all, so I guess I'll just take the small victories. But nah, I thought a subplot with Wild Dog. Wild Dog, everyone else goes to Russia this episode. Wild Dog stays behind because Oliver's worried he will start an international incident. Thea's
maybe
still,
should have been worried about some of the others.
Thea's still missing. They mention her that she's not around in this
This is a
episode.
long retreat slash conference or whatever it was she was at.
Yeah, it's been 3 episodes in a row. Willa Holland must be doing something. She must be busy.
Yeah, although I cannot fathom what.
She must be in a movie or something. Something's keeping her away from the show, because she's been gone for 3 episodes now, with just a couple of lines of dialogue explaining why she's not there. It's
I wonder
weird.
if they're planning on her popping up in some other shows before the ends of seasons. Because obviously the first time she was missing, we went, oh yeah, well she was in the crossover, so we had to make up for it by losing her from one of these.
But then it's been another 2, so
Yeah, I'm wondering if they've got her popping up in like maybe Legends or Flash towards the end of the season, and they're going, all right, well we can cut her out now while she's gone.
yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. Or they're just saving money in general and paying her less. Although she's a regular, and I'm pretty sure the regulars get guaranteed.
Yeah, because they're contracted
Contracts.
for that amount of episodes, they'll still get paid regardless, won't they?
Something's afoot. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, it's just the episode play. He stays behind and he helps Lance because Lance is going to be interviewed by Oliver's reporter, TV interview journalist person, girlfriend, which I'd completely forgot she was a thing. She walks into the scene at the start of the episode. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He did have like a romantic thing with her like 4 episodes ago.
We got nothing, and then she's there going, why aren't we banging yet?
That was basically what she said. Yes. So fine, but so they all go off to Russia because there's a problem. We'll get to that. But he stays behind and he helps him practice with questions, and Quentin like loses his shit because he's like, so did you start drinking after Laurel died? And like, you mentioned my daughter, get out! And he gets all angry and pissed. But then they have a little heart to heart, and he helps him anyway. And at the end of the episode, Wild Dog says this story about how he ran into Lance when he was a beat cop and he was a kid, and how he caught him graffitiing, and he gave him a little speech that inspired him a little bit. And it wasn't necessarily anything original. It wasn't anything particularly great, but I thought it worked well enough. I thought it gave them a nice little moment, and it didn't come off. It didn't come off as stupid. Like, a lot of the stuff in this show annoys me because it's stupid. This felt like, nah, this is your typical. This is.
I think it helps that the guy who plays Quentin's one of the better actors on the show as well. He's consistently has been.
No, he is. And plus, it just makes sense. We know he's been a cop in Star City
For years, yeah.
for like decades, so it works. It makes sense. Yeah. So I will give that subplot some props just for not being a mess.
It didn't annoy you.
It didn't annoy me. That's
funny. The level of credit we have to give Arrow at this point.
Unfortunately, I couldn't care any less about the main plot if I tried. So
sorry, I was just trying to think if there was a way I could care less, and I don't think there was.
So the general who framed Diggle has been on the run with the nuke that he stole to Russia. So that means the gang go to Russia.
Sounds like an Always Sunny episode.
I'd like to see an episode of Always Sunny when they go to Russia.
The gang goes through. Oh, that'd be great.
So they go to Russia, we meet up with some of the old Bratva people, and he's pissed at Ollie, and Ollie's like, I'm not doing stuff for Bratva. Even though he's like, oh, I'll help you find the location of Military Man, but you have to do a job for us.
It was really awkward, actually, because it was like, okay, you have to be a thug and do this one thing for us, and we'll do this one thing for you, right? It's, one for one. That's how it works in Bratva. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to go torture this dude instead.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, the plan at the time wasn't to even grab one, because they find him anyway. They actually get to him. It's just because he gets away and they get one of his henchmen that the torture comes into it.
Yeah, but once they've got him and they're like, well, let's torture him for info. Let's get this. It's like, at that point, why not just do the Bratva thing?
Here's what I don't get about the Bratva thing, though. Why does it have to be Ollie that does this? Like, it feels like a normal job that any of these thugs could go do.
I think, to be fair, it's out of just the principle of, like, nah, we want you to prove that you can do Bratva stuff. Because... Yeah.
But at the end of the episode, he's like, oh, you're the mayor of Star City, I'm going to come knocking. And I'm like, well, why don't you just use your guaranteed favour that you had to do for what you want to do in Star City?
Because, to their credit, they addressed that last time Ollie came looking for a Bratva favour, he didn't return. He didn't do the return favour. He just let him get shot by Deathstroke.
Okay.
They did bring that up.
They did. Okay, so they're in Russia and they're chasing after a nuke, and this led to a lot of running jokes from us about not letting Felicity near a nuclear bomb, because the last time she did, she ended up nuking a city. And it's funny because we were just joking about it, but we get to a point where the nuke's actually counting down and Felicity goes running off to
get it to a less populated area.
At one point she's like, oh, maybe I can try and fly this plane, even though she knows she can't fly a plane. And I guess this is them like, oh, she's guilty about the whole thing and it's another nuke. And I like at one point, though, Ragman actually is like, what, you mean like Haven Rock? Like, he actually brings it up, and I'm like, okay, good, you brought it up. Someone should call her on this.
A less populated area is exactly what happened before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit forced that they've worked in another nuke that Felicity could theoretically try and stop.
Would have been so funny if she'd flown the plane and died. But they would have Dark Knight Rised it.
Probably, yeah.
Just because Felicity.
Yeah. They end up dealing with the nuke, though. Ragman wraps his rags around it because he's thinking is that the rags survived the last nuke, so why not use them to...
Yeah, and can someone in the comments clear this up for us? Because I'm not entirely sure. I thought the rags were a symptom of the nuke. Like, that's where they got their powers from. But I didn't think they were magical before the nuke.
No, Khalil says his father gave them to him and he's got a connection with them.
Yeah, but I thought it was... For some reason, I thought he got them after the nuke. I don't know. Am I just misremembering?
I think I'm just misremembering. I don't think that was like established.
I think I'm just assuming there must be a reason why these rags have powers, and if comics have taught me anything, it's that nuclear things may give things powers.
I think it's more magical. I don't think it's got anything to do with radiation. Although radiation is, typically a comic book
Yeah, I think that's where
reason.
I'm just assuming it from.
Yeah, nah, I think they're more mystical in nature.
That's fair enough then.
But yeah, so he does that, and it makes his rags not work anymore. So at the end of the episode, he's leaving. So we're losing another team member. We got a new Black Canary. We got Dinah.
Yeah, we
She's
need to
around.
speak about that as well.
What do you want to speak about, Dinah?
Her power. So she's using it. They're doing this training thing, and she's trying to smash this vase.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, sorry, I can't really control it. I can only turn it off and on, and that's about it." And that really annoyed me because last week when they watched the video that led to them recruiting her, where she took on the two guys in the one video.
Yeah, when they're talking about her, yep, in the base.
Yeah, yeah. And Ollie goes, "Oh, she's got like much better control over her powers than Black Siren does," which was bullshit at the time because, well, two reasons. One, he'd literally just seen her blast it once in a video clip, and two, did he even see Black Siren use her powers?
Yeah,
And-
he was around for a couple of her.
Okay, but in Flash, we saw her take down a building with her powers.
That is true. Yes, we did.
So, yeah, bullshit. And then in this, it's like immediately forgotten, going, "Oh, no, I can't actually use them that well." Like, make up your mind. Which one is it? And then I just laugh every time they say Dinah, because I remember.
Technically, you sort of put your own solution to that in there.
Did I?
Well, yeah, because Oliver says that, and you say, "Well, bullshit." So you're saying he's wrong, and then this has just confirmed that he's wrong.
Well, yeah, he is wrong, but why was it there in the first place? It's more of a problem with last week's thing than this. It's like it's pointing out problems that were there before where he shouldn't have. I just don't understand it.
I'll give it one positive. I actually kind of like the actress who plays her.
I have no problem with her.
I think she has a good presence. She seems to fit well enough with the team.
No problem with her.
But I am basically at the point now where I can't stand either Diggle or Felicity. I hate them both.
And up till this season, I was a defender of Diggle. Like even through like the shit that was the last season.
Oh god, no, I hate them. Do you know what the problem is? Diggle's plot he's had no development as a character, and his plot for the last 2 seasons has been, his brother bullshit, hated that, and then this season with this whole going to prison for this military guy like framing him, like this entire plot I hated. So this entire main plot of this episode, I was just like, I don't care about any of this. I don't care about him punching up the guy that they've got.
I agree in terms of the plot. Last season was shit, but I still liked him as a character, like in the plot. Like I like the way, at least the way he reacted felt like Diggle. It doesn't even feel like the same character anymore.
Nah,
He's just doing stuff because this is what someone has to do.
Yeah, it doesn't. And we get this moment in this episode where he gets the general and he's like holding his gun, and it's like sort of like kind of, it doesn't actually flash back, but it's like sort of reminding you of the time he had the gun in his brother and he eventually shot his brother, but he doesn't shoot this general guy. He's like, no, I'll take you in and justice will be done. And I'm like, I don't feel like you've actually justified this. Or Oliver gave him one speech earlier this episode, and that's all. That's the only thing that's here to make this change of heart.
Yeah, and we just watched him beat up a dude for the sake of it when torturing.
Aye, proper brutally as well. Because I mean, Oliver beforehand wasn't actually torturing him; he was just threatening torture.
Yeah, I like to think he would have done something, just to prove that. Yeah, it wouldn't have gone that far, but I would have thought, like, to prove that he's willing to torture to the guy. Because that's what you got to do, right? But Diggle's just like, nah, screw this. I'm beating the dude up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take his blindfold off first, though, so we can see all our faces. Even though you're the mayor of a playboy rich dude that everyone knows in America. Whatever. At least Oliver had the common sense to put a blindfold on him.
That he did. And he also had the common sense to not use his Green Arrow outfit when he's in Russia. He just had this black mask that he put on.
Yeah, and he used a gun. Because that makes sense. Don't draw attention to it. Like, oh, well, hang on. Oliver Queen just went to Russia. The Green Arrow's in Russia.
Which, ironically, is what the twist ending is that reporter lady is actually secretly against him and is trying to like figure stuff out. And they get a photo of him using his old Green Arrow outfit in the flashbacks that we've seen with Talia.
Unsurprisingly, right after she finally sleeps with her.
Yes, and what was amusing me though, he's like, oh, that's the Green Arrow. Oh, Oliver Queen is probably the Green Arrow. And all I could think was, but wait a minute, technically the public, as far as the public are concerned, this is the Hood. The Hood wore that outfit. Now Green Arrow's Green Arrow.
Yeah, there were two separate identities. They confirmed that was the idea, didn't they?
To the point where the new recruits at the start of the season were like, what, the Hood and the Green Arrow are the same person? What?
Yeah. Also, just in that, while we're on that scene, he brings out a picture and goes, "Oh, look, these are all Bratva," and Oliver Queen was there, and the only face you can make out is Oliver. Like all the rest of them have their backs turned or like their faces are blocked out. It's like, how can you tell any of them are Bratva? Like you can't tell who any of them are.
Yeah, so Dick goes off the deep end. He's beating people up. Felicity, meanwhile, is working with that Pandora's box USB stick she got from last week. She's got all this information. She blackmails a Russian politician. I want to say tech guy.
I think he's a CEO, not a CEO, but he works for a company. Like
some Russian dude.
He's got some clearance at some company.
Some Russian dude. She blackmails him with information from it, and I actually kind of like that Ragman like immediately tries to like just tell on her. He's like, yeah. Felicity crossed the line.
It's like, Oliver, she's doing stuff.
She's not supposed to. She nuked my city and now she's doing this.
Also, I found it really amusing where they went to that scene to blackmail him and Felicity was like, guys, just pretend to be Bratva. It's cool. We got this. And then she goes in. The guy starts speaking Russian. She's like, English, please? It's like, yeah. Real Bratva that can't speak any Russian.
Oh dear. Yeah, but we see at the end though, after she visits Ragman, when he announces he's leaving, that she's texting the Felicity 2.0 from last week, and she's still working on stuff with the Pandora's box. So she's getting into her whole hacktivist stuff again, secretly behind everyone's backs.
That's really what this season needs, isn't it?
Hey, so far it's been more amusing than Diggle's plot with the army man.
I cannot argue with that.
I'm so glad that's done with. That's better by the end of it. But knowing my luck, they're going to actually like draw it out, and we're going to see the trial of the whole thing. And
I hate this show. I hate it.
Meanwhile, in the flashbacks, basically, Talia just makes Oliver realise, oh yeah, I should go back to Star City, but you need to leave Bratva first. So he goes to Anatoly, and he's like, oh, he doesn't actually say it, but he was about to say that he was going to leave, and then he's like, oh, someone beat you up. This other Russian dude and Bratva beat you up. Okay, I'll help you with that first, and then I'll tell you that I'm leaving.
Yeah, and the writers remembered pretty much everything, because they remembered he went back to Star City and killed a drug dealer.
Killed Thea's drug dealer, yeah. Which I guess technically counts as Thea been in the episode. We see a glimpse of her in a flashback.
Technically, yes.
From a shot from a previous episode 2 seasons ago.
Jesus, that was 2 seasons ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was a season when he was in Hong Kong for most of the flashbacks.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a long time ago.
Which was season 3, so yeah, 2 seasons ago. So that was the thing. So
I don't understand what the point of this episode was.
I still don't get how he's going to grow that big full beard in time for the start of season 1. Because technically at this point he's only about 5 months. Well, it's not, including the summer as well, I suppose.
7 or 8.
He's got about 8 months until he gets picked up on the island. And when you go back to season 1, he's got really long hair. He's got this big bushy beard.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, yeah, you can grow your hair, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't grow that fast.
Are we going to find out the beard was fake? Like it was just for the people picking him up that he actually put a fake beard on?
It was a damn good fake beard if it was.
Actually, if it's a big, really bushy beard, it's easier to fake. It's much harder to fake a shorter beard like this than it is a big bushy one.
That's true. It's a good wig, though.
Because let's be honest, in reality, it was a fake beard because it's a show, and they didn't make him grow out a beard.
Yeah. It was a good wig, though.
So when you say it was a good fake beard, you're actually being right. It was a good fake beard because you're saying
Hey, I liked the show back then.
The point I'm making is though is there's irony in what you just said. Is what I'm saying.
Is where does he get a fake beard that good?
Well, he's still off island. He'll take one on his way back so that the image looks good. That it looks like he's been on an island for 5 years. Looks like Tom Hanks in a Castaway.
Okay, all right. Here's where I'm going to complain. You put a fake beard on, it's only going to last for so long before it starts falling off, and it has to be reapplied and professionally put back on. Yeah.
Of course, I'm saying all this. There might have been a scene in the pilot where he shaves. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
There very well might have been. I really don't know.
Right, but if you got a fake beard, it has to be reapplied and put back on so it doesn't just peel off, especially in that island sun, because that's not going to do well for it.
Well, he probably just put it on before the plane was coming.
But how did he know the plane? This is what I'm saying. How did he know the plane was coming at that moment? He would have had to. Surely he would have been there for at least a couple of weeks waiting. Did they go, oh, there's a plane coming, let's drop in 6 hours before?
They may have set it up. We might see that at the end of the flashbacks this season. There may be like some prep where he arranges for a plane.
Wasn't it a boat, not a plane?
I can't. This was 5 years ago, Connor. I can't goddamn remember.
I know. I'm just putting out there.
That's why I can't remember if it was a scene of him shaving, and maybe they can retcon it and say it was a fake beard all along. I don't know. We're really focusing on this fake beard, but it's getting really silly now how close we are to this potential pickup, and he's still only got a bit of stubble.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
What else? Anything else happened in this? I don't think it did.
Did anything else happen?
I mean, Anatoly says he's coming to Star City at some point, so we can look forward to seeing him in Bratva arriving in Star City.
See, I don't mind Anatoly's the best part of Russia. Because at least he's been there for a while. He feels established. Whereas everything else in Russia just feels like, oh, we need something to throw together this season so that it happens. Because they clearly hadn't planned for him to go to Russia to this extent, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, it's felt like that since Hong Kong. Even every time they're in, they keep him and Talia keep going back to this room, which is like their home base, and I'm like, where is this room? What is this place, and why are they here? Like, I don't know. Everything about it just feels like so
exactly.
forced
But
and fake.
Anatoly at least has been around for a while, like where I buy him at least, if that makes sense.
So, I guess we're gonna have a plot with the reporter lady trying to expose him or doing something secretly behind his back.
Has Prometheus just been taking a couple of months off?
Apparently has. We've not seen him since before the crossover.
I know why.
Oh, sorry, the episode after the crossover.
I've just realised why.
Why?
Quentin's been in rehab, so he's like, oh shit, my cover's not around, so I'm gonna have to take a break for a bit. And then now Quentin's back, he's like, oh yeah, this is it. I can come out and wreak havoc again.
That's a good point. Maybe, or maybe Quentin just really is Prometheus. He's got everyone fooled.
Bloody hell.
Oh, that's it. I think that's it for this week. Honestly, I feel bad because at least normally we usually have some fun making fun of it. I feel like this episode didn't have enough to even do that with. It was just the main plot just bored the crap out of me. I was just bored.
The one nice shot that with the building.
Oh, it did, yeah. When they're doing the job for Bratva, and it's just Ollie and Dinah, and the shots just stays outside, and if they go into the building, we see the guy come through the window back to the outside, and Oliver jumps through the window, she comes out the door again, and camera pulls back as they come in to talk to the guy, and it's all one shot. It's really nice. It's nice and simple but effective.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good little shot. Good bit of action. Nice simple bit of action.
Best bit of the episode.
Aye, absolutely.
Oliver acting like a thug.
It was more just the choreography.
No, I'm just putting it out there.
But dear. Alright, that's Arrow. That's Arrow. We'll be back again next week. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz. Get our individual Twitters on the screen. Thank God the comic's a lot better than this. We'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.